can do for your social media profile on Instagram. So there's not a lot that you can, there's not a lot of characters that you can do. So you have to really think carefully about what you're going to put there. Some people, as you can see, like I have my phone number because I want people to be able to find me and call me easily. That's a double-edged sword because it also means that people can find your phone number very easily and send you lots of robocalls and spam texts, but it comes with the territory. Our number is everywhere, so you really want to make sure that your clients are able to get a hold of you as easily as possible. I actually, rather a client call me than try and message me, direct message through Instagram, for example. I also put that I'm in the top 1.5% of realtors nationally, and that I'm NorCal resident. You also want to make sure you always have your DRE number. So our DRE numbers are required to show that we're licensed in real estate. So you need to make sure that you're having that not only on your profile, but also on any post that you do. So that could be on Facebook, that could be on any emails that you send. You should always make sure that you have your DRE number listed and that you are a realtor.
Do you have a separate number for like business and then your personal?
So I debated doing that, like getting a Google Voice number. I did not do that just because the biggest challenge that you face, you could also do Twilio, for example, for texting from command. The challenge with that is it's hard to do back and forth conversations, two-way conversations that way. And so I just bit the bullet and said, nope, I'm just going to use my regular number. Especially since in real estate, a huge percentage of our business comes from our sphere of influence, and they already have that number. So I felt that, as I was starting out, that 80% of people who were going to be reaching out to me already knew me and already had my cell phone number. Obviously that changes as you grow your business, and if you become a mega agent and have a huge team and you're getting new clients that don't know you, that's a little different. But by that point, your number's already out there everywhere on signs and everything anyway, so you just have to make that decision for yourself. But really good question. So one of the other things I have on my profile is I have a link to Linktree. So there's a bunch of different platforms out there. There's Linktree, there's Bitly, there's all sorts of different things that you can use to kind of add additional information. Since you are limited to only 250 characters here, having something like Linktree is great because it allows you to put links and say, see link in bio, and then they can go to the bio and click on Linktree and they can see a bunch of different things. So my Linktree, this is actually out of date. I need to actually update this because I actually have two listings right now that I don't have on here, but it has visit my website, which takes them to my KW website, which is on there. Recent sales spotlight, better than Zillow, Redfin, download my KW real estate app. So I actually have people going to the link that lets them download the KW app, which is great. And then what your home's worth takes you to Cloud CMA to do an automatic CMA. And then the last one is my professional background, which actually takes them to my LinkedIn. And then I also have all my social things at the bottom here so they can go see like my Facebook page, my Twitter, etc. In full disclosure, I used to do all my social media myself. I started earlier this year, I hired an admin through Cyberbacker. So I have a virtual admin that I pay part-time. So she's $800 a month she works 8 until noon, Monday through Friday, and really helps me with my social media. She's also helping me with my transaction coordinator stuff. So I can't take full credit for all the social media that you're seeing because she does a lot of the work herself. Social media is important because you will see some social medias out there where it's just like the agent are only posting just sold or just listed, and that's all that's on their social media. Ultimately, that's not something that's going to encourage people to want to follow your page because they're like, I don't want to just see you're just sold, just listed. They want to know who you are. They want to know what your life is about, what you stand for, what you do on your free time. They want to know you personally so that they can work with people, because people work with people that they trust, not just the agent that says, oh, I sold a house this week and I sold a house next week and I sold a house the week after that. That's important, and you want to obviously talk about your success and prove that you are a really good agent, but you don't want that to be your only focus. So, any questions on Linktree? Okay, so that's a great tool to have. I'll just show you, for example, like what recent sales have. So like this was like a listing that I sold earlier this year. So I constantly change this to like one of the best listings that I had, and it just shows people like what I've been able to do. They also, if they go to, for example, to my website, one of the other fun things, I know this isn't Instagram, but I think this is really cool for people to add to their website. So this is just the KW Command website that I have, and I have it pretty highly customized. I also work with my admin to do a sold properties map. So this is just made in Google Maps, and it literally shows all the listings and buyer agent or buyer clients that I've helped. So it's kind of cool because it just shows all different properties, and you can click on one and see the address of the property that I help sell. So as you can see, I do 90% of my business is in San Francisco proper, but that's just something fun that also shows people where I do my business. I actually did one up in Sausalito and one way out in the East Bay, which is over in Walnut Creek. So that's kind of something fun.
So this was done by your VA?
My admin, yeah. My VA did this. It's very easy though. You just use like Google Maps. If you do like Google a video on YouTube on how to like make a custom Google map, you can make this very easy. You just put in the property addresses. So every time I sell a new property or get a new listing, we add it to this list, which is great. I actually have a new one that just got an escrow this week that I need to have her add to this map. So yeah, it's just a kind of running total.
Yeah, I mean, I know we've been talking how much we can customize the website. It's interesting to see that you've customized, because mine is not as customized.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. You just kind of have to jerry rig the command platform to do things like this. So a lot of it is embedding things. Like another example is my blog post. So I'm pretty sure your office gets it too, but the blogs that we get from, I'm totally blanking, from Homekeeper. So I don't know if you guys all get those emails saying, here's your blog that you can share. So I literally have this page that's just all the Homekeeper articles. And it's great because I never have to touch this. This automatically updates every time there's a new article, it puts it on here. Clients going to this website think that I'm writing all these articles because when you click on one, it's got my branding on it and everything. And it shows, you know, Matt Hendry here. But the reality is I'm not writing any of these blog posts. It's just popping up here every like 3 days with a new article. And you know, they can scroll down and see all these different articles. So that's another one that you can do on this page. And then I also did like a home buyer's questionnaire and a home seller's questionnaire. So this feeds to a Google form that just has them put their information in. So like, what's your budget? How much money you have for a down payment? What do you currently rent? Like whatever questions you currently ask of your home buyers or sellers, you can make a Google form that populates the spreadsheet. So it's a great way to kind of pre-qualify your clients before you have your listing appointment with them or sit down with the buyer consultation. So, okay, that was a total tangent. So I'll get back to to Instagram. Any other questions on on websites? Yeah.
Like you have to create an account on Linktree. I'm not aware about that.
Yeah, it's free. So like most of these platforms, there's like the free version and then they have a paid version that has extra bells and whistles. I don't really pay for any. The only thing that I pay extra money for is I pay for MailChimp right now, and that's because I added my audience. I added 1,500 of the top agents in San Francisco to market my listings to, and once you go over, I think like 1,000 people in your database, you have to pay per month. So I didn't originally pay for that, but when I added all those, I did. And I'm trying to think if there's any other platform that I pay for. I try really hard to keep those expenses down, especially as we go into a shifting market. You want to try and avoid spending as much as you can. You know, they're always trying to get us to like use a custom website and everything. I'm like, why do that when I have a free website that Keller Williams Realty provides us that I don't have to pay any money for, that does 90% of what I need it to do? The reality is that people out there are using Zillow and Redfin or whatever they want on their phone anyways. They're not necessarily going to my website to use my website, so I don't want to spend $60 a month on a website. So
maybe I didn't hear, but this is linked to your command website?
So the one that you were just seeing, so when I say go visit my website, this is my command website.
Oh,
so
okay.
this page right here is my command website that I have.
So the link tree is linked to command?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So my website is, my domain that I have is San Francisco. I managed to get that because I was a tech person, so I got that before anyone else snagged that. I got sanfrancisco.kw.com, but also I do pay for this. I do pay for, through GoDaddy, I pay for this domain, which is just Homes by Matt. So if you type in homesbymatt.com, it'll take you, it pretty much forward. Okay, it's supposed to forward. It doesn't like to do it in Chrome for some reason. It will forward to my KW website.
You haven't renewed your subscription.
I know, it's actually working. There's some weird thing with how I'm logged
Home
in.
by Matt instead
Oh,
of
that would be
home.
why.
Yeah.
Thank you. So that takes you to the San Francisco page. So, okay, back to Instagram. So then the other things to think about on Instagram is there's multiple different things that you can do. So there's posts that are just static images. There's reels that you can do, and reels go on your Instagram feed. And so reels are like kind of the newest thing that they launched, I guess, maybe 2 years ago. And they're like with music, and I'll show you some examples. I don't know if the sound is gonna work on here. And then there's on top of that, then there's stories. So like Instagram stories, you also have the ability to do kind of like, these are like the different like folders that I make for stories. So if I do stories in the past and I like them, I can save them to my favorites. And so here's like the different categories I have. So I have fun stuff, beautiful San Francisco, homes I'm at, real estate terms, amazing homes. Doors of San Francisco was something that I was doing during the pandemic when we were all stuck at home, and I'd take my dog for a walk and I'd see a beautiful door and I post a picture of that. And then real estate tips, which I actually need to add more stuff into real estate tips because I have it. So, you know, anybody coming to my page can click on these, and if it works, it should pop up and show. So here, for example, are all the different doors of San Francisco that I just took pictures of. And as you can see, it was over 130 weeks ago, but it was just fun stuff that I did when I was doing it. I also have key real estate terms. So this is something I started making. I made all of these in Canva. So I use Canva a lot, and my admin uses Canva a lot because it's free and you can make all sorts of templates. So I literally like found online some like new home buyer's guide, and it had a whole glossary of all these different terms, right? So I literally just made a template and put all these terms in. I just spent like an hour or two like putting all these terms in. So I post this every Thursday. So it's just a key real estate terms. It has my photo on it, it has my logo on it, and it just talks about natural hazard disclosures or whatever, and I put a fun different picture in the background that's blurred. What is escrow? So these are just ways that you can interact with your people. You have to look at social media as you are trying to constantly remind people who follow you that you're a realtor. That's your ultimate goal of social media, is to remind them so that when, you know, they may not want to buy a house next week or next month or next year, but maybe in 2 years from now they want to buy a house. If you have been constantly in front of them, they're going to remember, oh, Matt Hendry's a realtor, I should reach out to him. And so I know that my social media is working really well because every time I go out to dinner or to a bar or whatever, and I run into people I haven't seen in a year or two, you know, colleagues, not close friends, just people I know, they're like, oh my gosh, you look like you're doing so great in real estate. I'm like, I haven't talked to you in a year. Like, how do you know that? It's because of my social media. So they see it on social media and they know that I'm doing lots of real estate stuff. I want to pause here and also talk about the fact that their social media, you have to make the decision on, do you want to have a business page and a personal page separate, or do you want to use them as one? And there's pros and cons to both. So I have my Homes by Matt page, which is strictly business, and I post personal stuff there, but I have my own personal Instagram page that I've had for a decade or however long Instagram's been around, that's private, that other people can't see unless they, you know, unless they're a friend of mine. The reason I did that separately is I didn't want to go back and have to clean up my personal Instagram to take off pictures at a bar or pictures with my shirt off at a beach or those types of things, because that's not what I wanted to portray to my clients. Now, if you make the decision that you're 100% open and you don't care what people see from your personal page, you can definitely use your personal page to push business. I know there's plenty of people who do that just have one, and they do both business and real estate all in the same one. It's really up to you on whatever you're interested in doing. You just need to think through the repercussions of doing that. So now I have 2 different Instagram pages that I have to manage. Actually more than that, because my dog has one, and so like, you know, I'm like constantly managing all these different things and remembering I need to post on these different things. But it's a, you know, just something for you to keep in mind that you need to be doing and thinking through as you set up your social media. If you do want to use your social media as a business page, it's good to change it to a business profile, because then you have some other tools. So for example, I can use business tools from Facebook Meta that like my admin can log into the business tools, and so she can post on my behalf to my business page. Can't do that to a personal page. So there's pros and cons that you have to think through when you're looking at, you know, how you're going to be doing it. Is someone going to be helping you? Those types of things. Just to show you some other fun things. So this is just like, I think this is just my beautiful San Francisco homes. So just, you know, cool, beautiful homes. But as you can see, 200 weeks ago. So I need to actually go through and clean this up and take some of these old things out. And if I go over here, beautiful San Francisco, I just have great shots of Lombard Street, Alamo Square. So if I'm like walking around San Francisco or I'm out on Burgers tour, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna take some of this beautiful shot of San Francisco and post this to my page, right? Because that just allows people to remember how beautiful San Francisco is, and lets them, you know, just once again, it pops up at the top of their feed like Homes by Matt. Like it's just marketing is all about impressions, right? That's why Coca-Cola and Nike and all these companies spend millions and millions of dollars about trying to get their name brand in front of as many people as possible. So you need to be trying to do the same type of thing. And then fun stuff, I just have, it's not loading for some reason. Let me see if fun stuff will pop up.
This is great. I mean, I don't use Instagram. I have a profile that I've just created, but this is awesome. I can see the potential.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the favorites folder is that it holds things forever. So if you just post an Instagram story, it's just gonna pop up and be there for 24 hours and disappear. So you have to, after you post it, you need to actually save it to a favorites, otherwise it'll disappear. For some reason the fun stuff isn't popping up, but that's just like things with my dog. I'm trying to think of other things that I have in there. So any questions on stories? So you definitely, you can definitely make sure that when you're posting stories, you're putting hashtags on there. You can definitely make sure you're putting locations on there, because then those will then show up in people's feeds. If people are looking through the Explore tab, it's not gonna necessarily show them people that they follow, it's just gonna show them new stuff, and that's how you potentially get new people to see your feeds and everything, so. But
your listings and things you would post here, it's not just these other things, it's also
correct,
actual.
Correct. So here at the top, you can see these are, I wish the TV monitor had better resolution. So these three ones I have pinned at the top. So these are my husband and my dog and I. This is just a picture that I posted that's just like realtor, full-time superhero who occasionally shows houses. Just something fun to put at the beginning of your page, and so it's kind of tagged at the top, which is great. So as you can see, you also have to think through as you're posting things, you need to think about what your captions are. You need to think about what your hashtags are. So a lot of important information that you need to put in here. As you can see, so I kind of just put this little quote here. I also have hashtags. So it used to be that the more hashtags you had, the better. Facebook or Instagram changed their algorithm to say that they actually don't like you having 35 hashtags. So my posts used to have a ton of hashtags a while ago, and now I've reduced it down to usually like just 5 or 6. And you have to think of what hashtags you want to use, because if they're like looking at the hashtags looking through the feed, if they click on, for example, San Francisco real estate, they're going to see all the tags of all the realtors that have put this tag on there. So some people subscribe to hashtags, some people just find them in their feeds if they're looking in the Explore options. I always put Homes by Matt, so that's my obviously brand, so that is on every single one. Who you work with matters, like that's great. I put that on like reviews I get, for example. I always put who you work with matters. And then like I was saying earlier, we always need to make sure we're putting our DRE number and that we're a realtor. So I literally on my phone and on my laptop, I just have a quick key. If you have a Mac, and I'm sure you can do it on a PC too, if you Google like how do I add a quick key, like so if I hit QQ twice, it automatically pre-populates this right here, which is great. So I never have to like type in that whole thing. I just hit QQ and it pre-populates it. I do the same thing for DocuSign with a different code, and it actually does my proper signature on DocuSign. So when you're doing emails or something that's not not outside of Gmail, it'll automatically pre-populate all that, and it's a great shortcut.
I can help you guys if anyone needs help, because I know I have that on my phone.
Yeah.
It's like a little quick text.
And you can make it whatever you want.
Shortcut,
Yeah, it could be like I could do MH if I wanted to or whatever. So that's really helpful. I use the same thing for, I'm like, hi, it's Matt Hendry with Keller Williams San Francisco. My clients would love to see your property. So I have that as a shortcut too, because I'm always texting agents trying to set up an appointment to go see their property. So you definitely want to do that. So this makes sense. You also want to put emojis in it. Emojis are great. You don't want to overuse emojis, but I know that at one point the emojis were kind of helping move things up in the algorithm. Everything's all about the algorithm. And then you can see people who liked it. You unfortunately get crap like this, where people are like putting spam into your comments. There's not much you can do about that. I don't actually think I can delete a comment. You can report a comment if you want, but I don't think you have a way to delete it. And then you also have the ability to view insights. So you can see the insights, and this I think you can only do if you have it set up as a business page. So I can see how many people this reached. You can see 20% of the people who saw this photo weren't following me, which is good, because the higher that means that I'm reaching new potential viewers. I can see the impressions that it got from home or just overall. I can see that 4 people visited my profile, which is great. 26 people liked it, 1 person commented on it, 1 person saved it. So there's great insights that you can see in Instagram that kind of help guide you through exactly what's going on a post.
Number 1 questions I get from sellers is, do I need to stage my home?
I know you can't hear that very well, but
Key, one of my most recent
this was a reel I made. I actually made it on TikTok first, and I posted it again here. But you could also make this in Reels. So this is literally showing that house that I showed you a picture of earlier, and I took videos of what it looked like staged and unstaged. And so it's really to help show our sellers exactly what the benefit of staging is and how much more beautiful the home looks when it has staging put in. So this is just something that's, you know, an opportunity to educate our clients, opportunity to point potential sellers who are like, I don't want to stage. I could be like, oh, did you see the video on my social media? Like, you should check it out. This is why it's so much better for us to stage property.
Staging helps bring the property to life and helps them envision.
And this is me obviously doing commentary over the video.
Tucking their kids into bed or making a great dinner in the kitchen.
And then this picture is just me and my doggy and all the likes and stuff. It's also really important if you get people commenting that you like the comment and or even better that you reply to the comments, because that helps it drive engagement. So the more that, like, I should have all these replied to all these people, I didn't, just to say, like, you know, thanks so much, Sammy's great, blah, blah, blah. So there's, you know, always options that you can do on that. You also have the ability, which isn't done on here, is to tag people. So if I wanted to, I could have tagged my husband and tagged Sammy, who has her own Instagram, as I was saying earlier. My admin just forgot to do that on this picture, but you can also link to other pages, which also helps drive engagement. So I'm just going to kind of drive down into, you know, my philosophy on my social media. So as you go down, you can see a couple of the rules of thumb I try to do. I try to educate. So I try to make sure that I'm explaining to people, like, about the real estate process. So I did this whole video campaign where I talk about, so this one is me just, we have a studio in our office. And so, like, what's the first step in buying a home? So I did a whole series of all these just basic questions, and these videos are all less than 60 seconds. So I'm just talking about real estate in front of the camera and explaining things. This has helped building rapport with people. This has helped showing my market knowledge. This has helped showing that I'm a real estate professional. And they were really easy to do, and they're not difficult questions. Like, what is escrow? What you know, how much down payment do I need to do? Like, you could literally Google what's a list of 20 top questions in real estate and then just talk to those questions. And this is, like, much better because I'm not reading a script, so I'm much more natural. If you try to read a script, sometimes you feel like you're kind of stuffy, and you're not really going to portray the information that you want to, as if you're just talking naturally about the market knowledge that you already have.
Now, do you record this live, or do you do, like?
So you can do that. You could do you can do Instagram Live, or you can. I just record these on my cell phone, and then I sent them to my admin. So she then added the captions to it, and then added that logo on it, the Learn More logo. So our goal is that we're posting this once a week, and I did 26 of them. So we have half a year's worth of content, and she's just going to post one every Wednesday or something from now until I run out of them, which will probably be sometime in the spring. Any questions on that? So education is a really key pillar of your social media. You really need to make sure you're educating people. You also want to make sure you're entertaining people. So, you know, entertaining people could be fun things like, okay, so this was me talking about the Blue Angels that were flying over for Fleet Week last weekend. I don't know if that's entertaining. I did do like a story of the Blue Angels as they flew over my house in San Francisco. Entertaining could be me and my dog. Entertaining could be, so this was like, we had a mixer earlier this week at a sweet shop in the Castro. So this is for another organization that I volunteer for. And so I made this fun reel. And it's just like to music, and it's like, you know, something entertaining. If you guys look at Instagram these days, you'll see that like videos to music are the things that are trending the most. I'll show you in a minute when I get there, kind of like how much more engagement I get on my reels than I do on any of these static posts. So we'll dive into that in a second. Yeah.
Something I noticed, like, cause I switched my Instagram to like the business just to see like what it was about, but then I switched it back. Something I noticed with the business is that the the music bank is way smaller. Like if you have it in personal account, like sky's the limit. There's every
Yep.
song you know is in there, but business one is like very limited to songs.
Yeah, so I think you should Google how to fix that, because I had that issue when I first
Uh-huh.
switched, and I changed it to something different, and it
Oh,
fixed
okay.
that. I just can't remember, because I did that,
Just
I had that same
Google it.
issue like 6 months
Yeah.
ago, and now I have access to more songs, so,
Okay.
but yeah, that's a similar, I have the same issue on TikTok, that like I can't get a lot of on my business page, I can't get a lot of the like, the pop
trendy
song, yeah, the
songs.
trending songs and everything, so.
Okay.
So then the other thing you want to do is just inspire people, right? So my admin does some great shots that she finds of just like beautiful homes. She's put my logo on them, so they're like trademarked to me. And she gets these off Canva, right? So she has a Canva Pro account. I don't have Canva Pro, but she does, because she's actually a student, so she gets it through her school. So that's a benefit for me. But so she's able to get like these great images that aren't copyrighted. You want to make sure that you're not just Googling home photos and posting them, because then you could get yourself in trouble. But I also take some great shots myself. So I've provided her, like this, for example, I took all these pictures myself. This is my listing that I just did. So, it talks about the listing, and it has the different photos of the property, the pool, etc. So this, once again, I made in Canva. I just make this template. All my just listed look the same. They have the just listed, they have the address, the price, and my logo. And so I am very consistent in all my just listed posts that I do. And then you could also just do fun stuff. Like this is like great, delicious noodles in San Francisco. So she got these shots from great noodles, and then talked about some great restaurants that we have in San Francisco. So it's just a matter of kind of like, entertaining people. Here's another example of just a beautiful home. Here's some educational stuff, home staging cheat sheet. So she got this information from other posts. Beautiful San Francisco photo. I also try very hard to make sure I'm balancing myself in so if you like scroll back to when I first started my Instagram, I wasn't in front of the camera a lot. And everyone's like, well, you need to be in front of the camera. People want to experience you. I mean, that ultimately is the whole Instagram. That's why Kim Kardashian has however many bazillion like followers, because they want to follow people. Like obviously you see the influencers out there. They want to see you, and they want to see what you're doing. So I try to make it a rule with my admin that I need to be at least on every row. So if we go back a little bit, we got to a point where there was a section where I wasn't really in a lot of photos. So like all of a sudden, like right here, I wasn't in all the photos, and I'm like, okay, we need to make sure we're balancing so that I'm in 1 out of every 3. That's just the rule of thumb we use. You could say 1 out of every 10 or whatever it is that you want, but you need to make sure that as you're going through your feed, it's not just pictures of houses or pictures of other things, that it shows you. And that could be you on broker's tour. That could be you doing an open house. That could be you at the office. There's all sorts of different options that you can do, but it's important that you kind of balance those things out. So like here's another example just sold. So this was my client who bought this house, and so him with his bottle of champagne that I gave him posing. This was me, just doing open houses. So I kind of made a folder for my admin of all these pictures of me just doing real estate stuff. We also do fun things like the market reports. So we post the market reports, that type of information on here. This is a picture of a bunch of us goobers at Keller Williams San Francisco. So there's all my coworkers in the office one day. So fun stuff. You just want to do fun stuff. Any questions on that? Yeah, go ahead.
Market report you post in which format? I'm asking all this weird question because I'm zero at Instagram.
So the market report that I was just showing, so this comes from our office. So this is the one that she just posted the other day. This was just a 1-pager. They keep changing our market report, and I don't know what your office market report looks like, but they make it, and in our office they send us a link to Canva, and then you can edit it. So she actually makes it this and posts it, but I like the one that I showed you a second ago that kind of had all the different screens and kind of showed through. So there's lots of options you can do for market reports. I'll show you what I used to do for market reports. This is before I to go back to find one. I wish this loaded faster. So I used to make in Canva my own little, this is what I made. So I used to make this in Canva and actually make the market data myself. So I came up with this design all by myself. Here are the different, like, medium sale price, number of listings, average days on market. And I'd say if it's 18 days and is that down 30, it's hard to read, 37.9% over last year, and it'd be a down arrow versus an up arrow. So that's what I used to do. Problem is this takes, like, to redo this every month, takes probably like a half an hour to like change all these numbers and make it all perfect. And so then we got lazy and we started using just the one that the office sends us. But I actually like this one better because I just think this one like was consistent for my brand. The challenge with the office one is it doesn't show the change over last year, it just shows the new numbers. So if they're like 18 days on market, is that good, bad? I don't know, right? So we might actually go back to using this one. And then obviously in San Francisco, we have, this is single family homes, and then we have a separate tab for condos, lofts, and TICs. Does that answer your question? Mm-hmm. And then this blurb I put in here is really talking about like what was happening. I mean, this was February, right? So this was before the market started to shift and interest rates went berserk and everything. So, okay, so you can just see here lots of fun different things that I've done. I wanted to speak to Reels for a second. If I scroll all the way top, I can hit this tab to see Reels. And the cool thing about this is that it's going to show me the views of these Reels. So the Reels I make myself, and so, you know, this was me at a listing, for example. I did, so to your question you asked about doing Facebook Live, so I actually just did a little Facebook or Instagram Live, and then I saved it as a Reel and posted it to my page. So it was just me talking about my, hey, come see me, I'm at this property, it's this price, this square footage, etc. And then it just posted there. Only 84 views. The ice cream one that I showed you a few minutes got 234 views. This one already got 270 views, and we just posted this yesterday, so that's good. So it's interesting, but then if you scroll down, you can see some of these get really amazing views. So this is one that my admin made that is literally just this beautiful house.
Effortless look, you know, but it's really a lot of effort. Just like that effortless look, you know.
It's like 10 seconds, not even 10 seconds.
Really a lot of effort.
And so this one ended up getting, as you can see, got almost 8,000 views and got 392 likes. Now, do I know the secret sauce that makes that happen? I don't. Some things that I've learned is that short videos are better. Using these viral sounds like voiceovers or songs very much helps, and making sure that you're obviously having content that people like, that they're like, oh, that's a beautiful house type of thing. I'll show you another example that I did back in June. So you can just kind of see all these different ones. Like, but then this one, like my admin did this one, and this had 4,000 views.
Lights, camera, action.
So it's pretty, like, you know, short and sweet, and she had me film that. My admin was like, you need to do this, and I'm like, what? And it took me like 8 tries to get it right to the music, and it's still not that great, but it did what we wanted it to accomplish, right? So there was one back in...
Was that also in your Instagram, or that's in your TikTok?
Instagram. I do have a TikTok. I have struggled with TikTok to build followers, and Instagram just, I feel like, is easier to use. You can make content on TikTok and then post it to make it in TikTok and post it to Instagram, but when it has the TikTok watermark, the algorithm automatically demotes that and doesn't give it as much views. So I've tried to avoid doing that. There's some other ones out here that, so like this one, look at this. This is literally, this is Civic Center Plaza in San Francisco on Pride Month, and it's literally the Asian Art Museum and the Pride flags and the song. That is it. There's there's hardly any movement. I just took this as we were walking to go get coffee one day, and this video ended up getting over 37,000 views. Why? I have no idea. It hit that magic mark and got a ton of exposure, and when I click on, well, I can't see it here. I was trying to see if I could show you the, So I can't see it here. I'd have to go on the app. You can go into the stats and find information on it, but I could like see how many people liked it and viewed it and all that different type of stuff. So there's a lot of just different fun things that you can do. This one, my admin made too. This one got 5,000 views. This was us and our dog in Yosemite. My mom and my husband sleeping by the river on a hot day, and our puppy playing around in the water. But got tons of likes. This one was a food one that we made, got 10,000 views. You'll see like the music makes a huge difference. Like having something that's kind of a trending song is really helpful.
I am always eating food, garlic bread and tomato soup. How about a plate of steak stew? I'm high on baked fruit, maybe I'll add mayonnaise too. Everything is better with cool. I'm so into food. Sometimes.
So just fun little videos. So my point is that you just have to you have to try on all these things, right? And I you know, you see all these social media influencers out there. That is not my goal. Like I don't want to be a social media influencer, and I don't know if anybody in this room wants to be a social media influencer, but you do have to try and do things that are going to like make people like interact with your page and excited to see your page. And if you're just showing this house after this house after this house, they're not going to be engaged with that, because if the only people who might really be interested in that are people who are looking to buy or sell real estate right now, well, as we all know, what percentage of the population is looking to buy or sell real estate now? Less than 10%, less than 5% now, right? They might in the future, they might have 2 years ago, but they're not necessarily doing that right now. So you really have to make sure that you're balancing your real estate social media with fun stuff, with personal stuff, with business stuff, with educational stuff. All those pieces need to go into it to make you successful. Any questions on Reels? And why some of them only get like 75 likes and some of them get, thousands? I have no idea. I don't know what drives it. I just keep trying things and posting things and having fun with it. So I wanted to show, I don't want this just to be talking about my social media, so I wanted to show you some other agents that are doing a fantastic job with social media and give you some tools you can use. So Bianca Kaufman is our assistant team leader in the San Francisco office. She is a newer agent. She has a fantastic social media. She's already built her page up to almost 1,500 followers, and she's done that in like a year. So mine at 1,700 is 4 years. So it takes a long time, but you also see other influencers out there that have, there's realtors out there that have thousands of viewers, and I'll get to that in a minute. So Bianca, has a great thing. She does not have her license number in her profile, which she should do, especially as a team leader for the office. So test to her on that. But she does a great job of balancing a lot of real estate stuff. She does a lot of personal stuff on hers, but she also does a lot of great posts like these types of things. So she does this is I think a review from one of her clients, or just, she's just talking about negotiations. She also does all these different templates. So she uses a service that provides her all this. It's called Coffee and Contracts. So if you look for that, it's a paid service that provides you all these different templates, so you can just update them with photos of herself. She has the advantage that she is, her husband is a photographer, a professional photographer, so he takes pictures of her all the time. But she's done a great job of doing all these different things. She does a lot of great videos.
Look at the bitch. I'm a motherfucking star. Look at.
So she does all those different types of things. She has a lot of great videos. These are, once again, another example of the templates that she gets. So through Coffees and Contracts, which I think is like $50 a month, she gets, they give you all the template, they give you all the text to use. So if you're kind of like grasping like, Matt, I'm not like a creative person, I don't know what to do, there are options out there. There are companies out there. There's Keeping Current Matters that you could do. I find that Keeping Current Matters, I'm not sure if you've heard of them, they're a little elementary for the Bay Area because our price point is so high. They work great for like a lot of like the Midwest and stuff where people are buying a home for $200,000, but when people are buying $1 million homes like they are here in the Bay Area, I feel like their content is just not up to par with what Bay Area home buyers would expect. But Coffees and Contracts is a great option. I'm trying to see if I can find you some more examples of that.
And I think everyone uses Keeping Current Matters, so it
Correct.
becomes, in my Facebook feed, I get 4 of them posting the same damn feed.
Exactly.
right? And
Exactly.
So it's like, well, if I sign up with that, I'll be the 5th person sharing that same thing.
Yeah. So Bianca's actually cleaned up her ads, her page. So that's the other thing that you can keep in mind is that you don't, just because you posted something 2 months ago doesn't mean you have to leave it there. You can archive it and take it off your page. Because this is when she joined, and this was March of last year. So that's when she joined. She used to have a lot more of the coffee and contracts posts that she's actually taken off, because this looks totally different than when it was when I last looked at it. You can see on her reels, you also have the ability when you post a reel to not necessarily post it to your page. So she's kind of focused more on her personal life, but you can see here she had a lot of like just reels that she made with to great music and that type of thing, or sound bites, that type of stuff. So that's a great opportunity to look at. So it's once again, her page is Bianca Kaufman if you want to go check her out. It says I'm not. Oh, I know why. I'm so sorry, you guys. This is Bianca Kaufman, her personal page. She has a real estate page too, because it just showed that I wasn't following her. Here we go. This is, so take back everything I just said about that. She's changed it because I didn't realize that she had 2 separate pages. So here's her, but that's actually a really good point. So that was her personal page that we were just looking at. If you are gonna have a separate personal page and a separate business page, you still need to post some real estate stuff on your personal page from time to time. So I do that. I have a Tall Traveler account that's like my own personal Instagram. I do post some real estate stuff there, but not a ton, right? I'm very selective on it because I don't want people to unsubscribe to that. I want people to follow my real estate page because they really want to follow real estate. And if they don't want to do that, then don't do that, but follow my personal page. So anyway, so this is her realtor page. And as you can see, is very, very realtor focused. She does have personal stuff in here. She has reviews. So this is a great page for you to kind of look at. And then once again, a lot of these are all from Coffee and Contracts, which is a great opportunity for you they give you all these like templates and stuff. So. Tips for selling your home. Very short, right? Hey, look at that. We were both on a panel together. Any questions on all that?
What is that, copy and contract?
Coffee and Contracts is the company that provides the service. It's like a paid service that'll give you content that you can use.
They provide the content?
Correct. And they give you templates, so then you're just putting like your own picture in there with them. So it's a great opportunity if you don't want to create your own content. You can just use the content, and they give you new stuff like every week and stuff. But it costs money. So then there's people like Ryan Serhant in New York. I don't know if you watch $1 Million Listing New York, but he's on that show. 1.6 million followers. Like but he's got not a Linktree, but a Hoobie, same type of thing. He's built a huge following and is a very, very successful, probably in the top 100 realtors in the entire country. If you've never watched $1 Million Real Estate, you should watch it. It's fun. There's beautiful homes in Manhattan that they show you all the time. But I mean, he also gets that because he has such a huge follower, he'll get 20,000 likes for, showing a picture. But it's a $250 million listing. We all love to have a $250 listing. I'd like to sell one house and be done for the year and take the rest of the year off on vacation. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But so these are there's same with the $1 Million Listing agents down in LA, right? They all have huge followings, but they're also on Bravo, so they get a huge exposure. I mean, it would be strange if they only had 400 followers or 4,000 followers, right? Here's some other people that I just wanted to show that are just more down to earth. So James Cullen is in our office as well. He has like 2,000 followers. James is great. He just does a lot of like, kind of just, this is just something he posted, just like walk around the office.
What's the favorite bar to go to these days?
Harbor and Rye.
Those are our team leaders.
Gilu.
Oh, I do like Gilu.
Gilu. I changed my mind.
Yeah.
Gilu.
I'm James Cullen and I sell.
And I sell houses. That's his line. But then he like just does things like walking around San Francisco.
Statistically speaking, only 10% of people are lefties, And this store seems way too packed at Fisherman's Wharf. I think some of them might be converts.
So just random stuff. But he also has he also does
The film industry is addicted to the idea
he does
of
this
home.
theme called
E.T.'s busy
You're in
filming
Hot
home.
Water with James
You've
Cullen.
got Sweet Home Alabama,
So this is literally in his
where she's
kitchen,
coming
and he's
home,
filming
or
this, but he always gets dressed up in a suit and tie and does these little film him talking about stuff like he's on the Daily Show or something. But this is just James is very entertaining, and so people follow him because they like his entertaining style. But as you can see, he's in almost all his videos. Is that a good thing or bad thing? I'll let you decide. But he does all sorts of fun stuff. This is Emma. This is our team leader. So her website her Instagram is definitely much more personal based versus real estate based. I mean, she does have some real this is Nicole, our other team leader. They were dressed up for going to some gala. But Emma's got 1,400 followers. She obviously uses her Instagram to recruit agents to Keller Williams. Dino is an agent in San Francisco. He has 9,000 followers. He is also a suit and tie type of guy, but this is just another great example of he does real estate both here in the Bay Area as well as in Toronto. And so, some great pictures, beautiful pictures of the listings that he has, but he also shows his family and his kids and his wife going and doing things. Talks about, has videos where he talks about things he needs to do, or
to participate in
once
a
again, educating people.
Condominium project. First, the average purchase price today for a core pre-con asset located in a highly desirable area is around $1 million. We're going to assume you're getting in with our group as a qualified investor at a 15% deposit structure, which is actually spread over 2.5 to 3.
So he's trying to get investors in his properties. He's got beautiful properties. So just, these are just some examples of agents that I feel do Instagram at a really good level. I won't blast anyone by showing someone who has just sold, just listed, and that's all that's on their page. But I'm sure know some people who have that on their pages where it's just that. And my advice is don't do that, because people aren't going to follow you because they're like, I don't care that you sold this house across town. They want to see what you did to help sell that house. So if you're at a house there was one video I posted the inspector climbed into the attic, and he's literally shimmying because it's only this high, and he's shimmering with a spotlight on his head. And so I literally filmed him trying to climb out and then filmed me, and I'm I'm so glad I'm not the inspector, and went back to him and showed him again, right? Short clip, funny, but I'm so glad I'm not the inspector climbing around that attic and that he is, right? Those are the types of things people want to see of what you do day to day as a realtor. We don't just do fancy open houses. We do a lot of different things. We go, there's a video of me blowing leaves off the back deck at one of my listings, because I'm when we show up and there's leaves all over the back deck, we're gonna do that before an open house, right? So it's be real and be you, and show people what being a realtor is all about, because then they will be able to relate to you, versus the Ryan videos where he's just in a suit and these $250 million houses all the time, right? That obviously appeals to a very select audience, but isn't going to necessarily appeal to everybody. So what other questions do you have? That was kind of everything that I wanted to cover on Instagram. So is there anything else you all would like to?
Do you get leads?
That's a very good question. So I have not gotten a lead yet from Instagram. Other people I know have. My colleague Greg, who's actually only been in the business 1.5 years, who we co-listed that house I was showing earlier, he took my listing and posted on his social media, and he got someone who said, "Oh my God, I want to see that house." He posted it, and 2 hours later, he got someone who DM'd him and asked him that. Now in Instagram, I get a ton of crap messages in DMs of do you want to add more followers? Hi, how are you? And it's some person that has 4 pictures posted and they're overseas or something. Those are probably not likely going to be potential real buyers. So I have not yet gotten a lead from this, but I'll go back to what I said earlier, that every time I run into people, they're like, "Oh my gosh, Matt, your business looks booming. You're so successful." They know that because they follow me on Instagram, not because I'm calling them and bragging about my business to them and telling them about it. I should be calling them. We all should be calling our spheres more often. I don't do it enough. Does that make sense though? And I know eventually, as my business continues to grow, I will start to get leads. Just like all of us, we kind of start building business with our sphere, and then once we kind of establish ourselves in a neighborhood or whatever, then we start getting referrals from other people that we don't know. But you have to start with the people that you do know first before you start serving people you don't know.
So the question I have is, when you got your VA, was she familiar with real estate, or did you have to do something, or?
She was not. So my VA is through cyberbackers, and
Right.
most cyberbackers are like college-age kids or just out of college, and they're in their 20s, and they're in the Philippines, and they don't necessarily know anything about real estate. There was only one cyberbacker I interviewed that actually had worked for a realtor for a year, and then that realtor had gone on to different things, and so she was the only one who had relevant business experience. But she did have social media savvy. So we've like kind of worked together to kind of build this plan and build this strategy on how we're gonna grow social media. So she's being, I'm 46, she's 22, so she's much more in touch with the trending musics and the themes and all that type of stuff that she knows. So she brings that to this old guy who doesn't necessarily know those types of things, because I'm not, of that generation, and so we balance very well going through that. And so I'm able to provide the real estate content and expertise, and she's able to kind of take that and then make videos that are going to be viral.
Because it was pretty cool, for someone who perhaps did not have that background, to be able to sort of take that and I'm sure that's your skill set that you are bringing to the table too.
Yeah.
Do that.
We do, kind of just to dive into this a little bit more, if any of you ever wanted to get to a point of having a cyberbacker. So we actually have this program called Notions, and it's a free website that we use, and we actually track everything. So we actually plan out all of our stuff of what we're gonna do. So I know exactly what we're gonna be posting. So for example, next Thursday, for example, we're gonna post this bathtub photo, and this is what the photo is. And she already put my logo on it and everything, and I've already reviewed and approved it. And so we actually have this tracker that has every single thing that we post. And we also post on Facebook, on Instagram, we also post on LinkedIn, we post on Twitter. It has when I'm gonna be out of town. So this is in the future, this is going in November, so she hasn't necessarily done any of these things yet. But all the things that for the next week, as you can see, these have all been approved, and some of them have been scheduled already for her to do. So like this Motivation Monday, she already has scheduled, and it'll get posted. Successes is not luck, it takes consistent effort. That's a perfect motivation quote for all of you. Social media takes consistent effort. I would recommend that all of you make a goal to post every single day. And I know that can be overwhelming, just like it's overwhelming to say I'm gonna call 5 people every day or whatever it is for your lead generation, but social media is going to respond best if you're consistently posting on it on a regular basis. And once again, it could be you taking your daughter to school, it could be you making dinner, it could be you watching a movie, it could be you taking your dog for a walk, it could be you doing open house. It doesn't matter what it is, you just need to get in front of the camera and share information with people. Once again, those 3 pillars are educate, entertain, and be personal. So
now, just taking this example now, did she pull this, or did you go?
So she made that, and then she posted it for me on my business page. So because I have a business account through Facebook, page manager, she can post Instagram and Facebook together. But then the other nice thing is I can see all the different things. And if I wanted to, for example, just look at what I'm posting on LinkedIn, we can pull this up, and this just shows the things that we're posting on LinkedIn. If I want to see what we're posting on all the channels, I can do that. So this is a really cool program. It's called Notions again, and it's free. And so, we use that to track everything. And it also allows me to go in here and make edits. So for example, if it's, let me just see if I can find one for approval. So then I can go in here and I could change the caption if I wanted to. So this just says wait for it, and she doesn't have the link in here, but it's a reel that she made. Or if I wanted to go, there's not any other ones that I need to approve, but I can actually make edits to it, to the caption, so that she can change it when she posts it. So this is what we use to kind of make sure that our strategy is consistent. I always am having her post stuff in advance, because if there's a tsunami or a typhoon down in the Philippines and she goes offline for 2 days, I want to have stuff posted so it keeps going. Or if she gets COVID, I got COVID at one point and I was sick for days. So we try really hard to make sure that we have everything kind of planned out so that we're constantly having stuff to post. and kind of planning out that strategy of like, okay, bathtub Tuesdays, motivational Mondays, like what are we gonna do? And then we're putting in there, like, I'm waiting for a review for a property I closed escrow on last week. He hasn't given me the review yet, but as soon as he gives me the review on Zillow and Google, then she's gonna make a post and post it on social media and fill in, so. This is like a prime example, like this was my marketing video I did for this property out in Walnut Creek. Posted on Instagram. I spent a lot of money paying aerial canvas to make this video, so why not post it as much as you can? So it went on my LinkedIn, it went on my Twitter, it went on my Facebook, it went on my personal Facebook. Like, if you're gonna be spending money on a listing, definitely make sure that you're getting it out there and posting as much as you possibly can. And we'll probably use it again in the future, right? Like, oh my gosh, Throwback Thursday to this great listing we had in 2021. Why not, right? No one's gonna remember watching this video a year later, so you can definitely use this great content of this beautiful home that they did a great job staging for future content. Any other questions?
So what was that? Educate, entertain,
And be personal.
Personal.
The personal and the entertain kind of fall into the same kind of, but I think, you want to make sure that you're helping people understand real estate. I mean, that's the whole purpose of having a real estate page versus if it was just entertainment, just be your personal page as you're going to the beach or the movies. But you need to make sure that you're not just only doing educational stuff, because they won't necessarily engage with that. So you have to have some fun stuff in there too.
Did you ever get any comments in Instagram that you want? Are you able to delete some?
So that's a good question. So there was like that one that I was just showing. This one. And so maybe I can on my app versus on the, let me just check really quick.
I mean, Facebook allows you to delete, I don't know on the business page or not, but I don't know about Instagram. I mean, it's the same ownership, so hopefully.
Because some realtors would comment and say, you wanna buy homes, call me.
Yeah, you can definitely flag comments as spam, so you definitely have the ability to do that. Mine, of course, isn't loading, so I think I have the ability to like get rid of that comment, but it's not working on my phone right now for some reason in here. Oh, there we go. Let me refresh this and see if it made it go away. Yep. So I deleted it. So it does let you delete comments, so that's good. And I should have done that a while ago. I didn't, that's the problem is that, sometimes when you start to that person probably commented a week or something after, and so if you're not on top of your notifications, I missed it. But yeah, you can go through and delete things like that. Or people saying, buy cryptocurrency at this, because you want to get that stuff off your page, so. Anything else? Okay, well, thank you all for coming. I hope you found this useful. I think ultimately I'll leave you with the, what I was saying earlier, just start, and whatever you post is a good start, and then you can continue to hone and change your strategy as you go through of what you like and don't like, and what you can kind of trial and error, see what works best, what gets engagement, and definitely, the other thing that I didn't speak at all about is it's also important for you to go and follow other people, and also go and on other people's posts and say great photo, or your vacation was amazing, or your baby's so cute. You need to engage with people. I don't do a good enough job of doing that right now, and my admin and I are talking about how she can go and engage with other people too, because the more that you touch with other people on the platform, the more the algorithm will push you higher up on the list. So, okay, well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Do I just hit record? What do I hit to stop it? Stop. On air? Stop.